Hi, I'm David Norris and I'm serving up the perfect podcast, Pompey Platter with Russ, Daz and Has. Play up, Pompey.
He used to be a waiter, did David Norris. Well, he's served up the perfect cocktail here.
Jarrett back to goal, Lang. Needs a bit of help. Goodness from Lang. What can he do? Still there, Lang. Lang! You wouldn't believe it! Cross comes into the near post. Headers into the net! Shaughnessy! Surely Pompey are heading for the championship! Portsmouth are promoted as League One champions!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pompey Patter podcast. Same old away day story, episode 31. Tonight, as always, I am joined by Has and Daz. How are we, boys?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I've probably got as much energy as that intro, I reckon.
I think that was quite a positive intro, to be honest, compared to what we're about to talk about.
Very true.
It's gonna be a positive podcast.
That's
Rich, talk about
Rich coming from you.
And and the reason why is just literally seen a tweet as I was about to come on from
Pompey Pedro?
And
yeah,
the man is hit the nail on the head. I kind of needed that reminding. I've even tweeted him saying you don't realise how much I needed to see that. So if anyone hasn't seen it, I'm going to read it. So he has put, we are now in a mini league of 8 teams, which are we currently occupy first position. We simply need to finish above the top 5 of that mini league to survive. We need 4 points from a possible 15 to reach 49 points, which is 90% chance of survival. And he also added, we placed ourselves in a position in our debut season in the Championship, despite never having had all our best players fit all at the same time, with 4 of our 5 best players lost at various points, long-term injury, Bishop, Shaughnessy, Paul, Lang. And I'll tell you what, it completely changed my mindset.
And that's exactly how I felt last night, right? It's frustrating. You think, as I said to you guys, like, we go back and it was a month yesterday, wasn't it? Or a month Tuesday, where we beat Leeds and we were 10 clear. And in a month later, we've lost 4 out of 5. We're down to 3-point gap. We've thrown away what would have been a well-earned draw at Coventry last night. We know that it would have been fairer draw, was a fair result. Again, even at Millwall, we got that equaliser and it would have been probably a fair result. It's just sloppy mistakes, again, of our own accord. I feel like a broken record. I say this almost every time we play away. Sloppy mistakes, goals conceded of our own accord. But if you offered this at the beginning of the season, we would have all snapped your hands off to be, 5 games left, 3 points clear. We'd have all said, absolutely, no problem at all.
Off in October, let alone the beginning of the season.
Well, exactly. Even more so when after that Stoke game, we thought, we're going to break the record for the lowest points tally or something. You know, it wasn't looking good at all. It is our debut season in the Championship. We have the lowest transfer budget in the league. We have the lowest wage budget in the league out of anyone, even more so than Derby and Oxford, who also came up with us. We haven't been in the Championship for 12 years. Right now, the away form is fucking awful, and it has to be adapted next season. But this season was never about getting performances in. It was never about making sure we, have 60% possession like we did last year. It wasn't about that. This year was about simply staying in the league by any means necessary. And if that means we're shit away and we get 2 away wins all season and we stay up, we've done it. That's all that matters. The aim is complete. It doesn't matter. We can come to this next season when we're in the Championship and improve that away record then. Fucking hell.
By the way, it's a disclaimer for those who don't listen live and don't hear the sort of jibber jab we do before we go live. Harry also supports Tottenham. they are playing Frankfurt tonight. If you hear Harry shout or scream, something's probably gone wrong.
Yeah, Frankfurt scored 5 minutes in.
Frankfurt have already scored, and
So-
how easy is that?
Yeah, so like, what were we expecting? We've managed right now. This season is about staying up, and currently we are doing that. We will be doing it. I fully believe still we will stay up. It was another Pompey meltdown, which I fully get. After a loss, everyone's pissed off, everyone's angry, we're frustrated, but we are in a good position. As Pedro said, it's in our hands. We are in a very good position. If we were in the relegation zone where Cardiff are or Luton are, then it would be very, very different. But it's in our hands. We've got to make sure we just get a few more points. So we're doing fine. I think we'll stay up. I'm feeling positive. I kind of knew we'd lose. It makes it easier. We're just shit. Sack off the other away games of the season. We've only got 2. We've got more home games now than we do away. Sack off the 2 away games. Just go all out for the home games, and we'll beat Derby and we'll beat Watford, and then it'll be done.
Yeah, the thing is, I think, like, for me, and I'm pretty sure for everyone, because as you were saying, we were 10 points clear not long ago, and I suppose that is what really kills people, because we all said it, didn't we, after Leeds game? We're like, yeah, we must be safe, and then in a matter of like a week, obviously that went down to what, like 6 or 5, can't remember what it went down to now. So I think that is just because you have that high. If we'd maintained 3, 4, 5, 6 points on average for the whole season in and around the relegation zone, I think it'd be a bit easier to take. And obviously, being those 10 points clear is that at that point is massively overachieving for us, because as we said, we've got apparently a bottom of the league budget. So to be 10 points clear when we were is massively overachieving. We are probably right now where in and around where we should be. And I mean, that's just, again, trying to take positives rather than like saying it's good enough. Because, like, I mean, we'll talk about the games in a bit, but we should have been picking up points. It's down to certain individual performances or like moments, should we say, that's cost us. Like, it's cost us like 2 points this week. So yeah, and with that Pompey Pedro put, I thought about this morning, because I had a quick look at the league table, and I thought, like, I know we're 3 points, but there's a fair few teams in between us. So I'd be worried if it was just us and 2 or 3 other teams, but there's a fair few teams in there, probably more than I was expecting. So it gives us a few outs, but we have to do the jobs ourselves, and that obviously starts with Saturday.
So we're gonna try and keep this positive, but I am gonna play devil's advocate, being the host for a lot of it. So we'll be pinning some questions to you boys. I know we normally would go, let's do the Millwall game, and then we move on to Coventry game. But I kind of want to do it as one, if that makes sense, because a bit like the same with the Preston game. It's all a bit deja vu-y, really, isn't it? How's I going to come to you first?
Thanks.
What do you think the overall issue is away from home? Because there is a massive issue. I've known Pompey to pick up 2 wins in away from home season many times, especially back in like the 90s. But it's the lack of draws, I think, that's killing us.
I think at this point, it's mentality. There's no other reason apart from mentality. At the beginning, I mean, it started with the first game of the season, didn't it? It started with Leeds. We get that, 92nd minute penalty scored by Lang, and you think, holy shit, we're about to beat Leeds at Ellen Road. And then, obviously, they score after in the 94th minute, I think, and then we kind of got away with it. We went through the motions of we're thinking we're taking, it's 2 points dropped, and we get a draw, and then we kind of almost think we're lucky to get the draw because Brendan Aronson puts that shot wide somehow. Then you go to Burnley. Well, I mean, you got Burnley away. Richie's back flick, stupid, idiotic, led to a goal. You've got Middlesbrough away. You've got Owen Moxon giving away that penalty in added time in 90th minute. And that's another 2 points dropped. You know, it's easy to look back and go, well, if we didn't do that, then we didn't do that. We'd easily be. It's stupid mistakes every time, and we genuinely would have been about 9th or 10th or 11th if it wasn't for these idiotic mistakes. And yes, you are going to make mistakes, but I honestly don't really know. I don't think there's anything particularly tactical wrong. I get there are errors that like Messino has made, and everyone's made errors. Messino's got teams wrong. He's made poor substitutions, but a lot of the errors aren't in his control. The errors have been stupid, idiotic individual mistakes. Like last night, Ogilvy had a cracking game, potentially man of the match, but then he makes a decision to go darting in and just leaves Rodoni all unmarked. That cannot be put on the manager or the coaching staff. That's on an impulse decision made by a player that's stupid and idiotic, and a player of his experience, not championship experience, but you know, Conor Ogilvy's made a couple of hundred appearances probably by now. He should know to not do that. It's like a rush of blood to the head, and we've had that way too often this season. And it does seem, I think, as I said, sometimes the way we've set up in team selection isn't right, but a lot of it, I think, is individual errors. But at this point, we're so far in now, it's just mentality. I think the players could just kind of know it's coming.
Daz, do you think that you could look at... I, for one, cannot understand why we play with a 10 away from home and things like that. I don't understand why last night, second half, I mentioned it last night in the chat, why in that second half, when we just got bombarded, why we needed two strikers. Wouldn't it make more sense to get more men in that midfield who can help double up on the wings? Because they and I keep saying it, lady, we cannot defend crosses at the moment. I don't know if that's a lack of height with no Atkinson or no Shaughnessy, but we cannot defend crosses to save our life at the moment. And I think teams know that, and they just get the ball on the wing and they continually hook it in. Even Blackburn kept doing it, but we were lucky enough that the Blackburn were awful that day.
I mean, the only way you're going to be better at dealing with crosses is like we didn't have another centre back. I know we had Pat was on the bench, wasn't he? So putting another body in midfield wouldn't stop potentially balls going into the box because they would just.
No, but you can double up on the wings, can't you? You can get the third midfielder to come over, and you're not leaving a gap in midfield, are you? Or even go for a back three.
I think what he was doing with that, obviously more of like a 4-4-2, was the fact, and that's why I think Richie came on rather than Blair, was to Richie to more sit in front of Devlin, because obviously Devlin's more of a battler and stuff like that as well. So I thought that was an okay decision. And then we had the athleticism on the left-hand side with Murphy and Bramall, who, like, I really feel for Bramall because I thought he had a pretty good game up until that minute of madness where he doesn't square it to Bishop. And then I think he's just as much to blame for Conor Ogilvy missing that header because he comes in when he doesn't need to. And he sort of battles with Ogilvy, with whoever it was who've like managed to flick it on. And then, and then they get in that way. I think I said on a WhatsApp group, didn't I? I think the reason he brought on Omani and kept it more like a 4-4-2 was to give us that athleticism and like give something for Coventry to think about. Because if we'd have put another centre midfield in there, I think we would have been even more under pressure. And I felt we were quite relatively comfortable. Like looking at the stats, Schmidt only made 2 saves. So it shows that we were set up pretty well defensively, keeping them at arm's length. Okay, every now and again they got in behind, but they were always going to do that with the players they've got. especially the ex-Peterborough winger, I just can't remember his name, Mason Clark. That's it. They're always going to get in behind us because they've got the pace. It was going to happen like we did to them, especially in the first half. A good couple of times, both Conor Bramwell and Murphy were able to get in behind their back line. I didn't have an issue with how we set up because, again, and I know it's all ifs, buts, maybes, and that's what people will say, especially to back up. Like, I'm using this to back up my argument. Someone will say, well, it didn't happen, and that will back up their argument. But those little things don't happen. If Conor Bramwell, even if he takes it into the corner, or if he does give it to Bishop and he misses, opens a whole world of different outcomes. And then maybe their goal doesn't happen.
I think the problem with Bramwell's, if this was before multi-ball, he probably did the right thing. Because they used to say, if you're going to smash it, make sure you smash it in that crowd, and then it takes ages for the ball to get back and you're wasting more time. Now with multi-ball, you boot out and you just go and pick up another ball and then quickly go take a goal kick. It doesn't make any difference.
Again, in that sense, it's, for me, it's similar to bloody hell, was it Preston where we conceded that free kick that wasn't a free kick in our own half, and they scored from it?
Yeah, yep.
Right, so it's similar to that, right? Just because there's an incident that happens further back, like Bramwell and that free kick, it wasn't a free kick. It doesn't matter whether it was. It doesn't matter that Bramwell, he shouldn't have done it, but it doesn't matter that he's twatted it over the bar. That's not an excuse for then Conor Ogilvie and Bramwell getting mixed up between them and losing it and then conceding that goal.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm not making excuse. I'm not saying that's the reason they've done that. But Bramwell's done 2 instances in the space of a minute where if he'd made better decisions, we could have come out of there with a point. If not, we could have maybe come out with 3 points. And that's what I mean about Messino. I think I said this last night, and I might have said it this morning, but I didn't understand how he got a bit of stick for some of his changes. Russ, I know obviously you didn't agree with some of his changes, but I felt that what he did was good enough, and I felt we were set up well enough to get a positive result, which was going to be hopefully a draw. But
I didn't mind the changes.
Omani was lost. He had no impact on that game whatsoever.
I just didn't get the need to stay with a 2 up front. It just made it made no impact on the second half at all. Yeah. That was my question of it.
Yeah, but the thing is like I saw people saying we were really negative last night and stuff like that. And I mean, if we'd have brought on another just holding midfield, like say we brought on who we did bring on, what's his name, centre mid, who came on for us, Hayden. If he'd have come on, say, for Woodingham, and then we just got Bishop up top, and then we're like got maybe a 5 in midfield, I think people then, especially if we had conceded, because again, we didn't concede because of the shape, we conceded because of errors, which is not anything to do with the shape. So I think Messino was in a bit of a rock and a hard place, and he probably felt we were comfortable enough. And I think he did say about the athleticism that we had enough to still cause them problems if and when we got hold of the ball, which, again, if Bramwell makes a better decision, like everyone's looking at that and thinking, what a game plan. But it just takes one mistake, like from Bramwell making that first mistake, I think it's like 45 seconds. And the game plan's kind of gone because they've scored and they've won the game. So it's like with football, it's if, buts, and maybes all the time, opinions and things like that. But I felt yesterday we set up well enough.
They don't score that goal, no one's moaning.
Yeah, no, because the performance was there, right? Compared to other away games, even probably compared to Preston and going back for so many of our away games.
I thought yesterday was better than Millwall.
Oh, yeah. Millwall was a boring, drab game, right? Yeah. But the performance was there from us, and we actually defended really well. And I felt like we did have a change in shape. Just having the 2 up front for that duration actually made a real difference.
Yeah, first half, it was outstanding.
And the performance was there to get. We deserved something out of that game. We did, and if we deserved to lose, I'd say that. I genuinely think a draw probably would have been a fair result. But we've got to just cut these out, these mistakes, because one time we might not be so fortunate next season. Because you get Birmingham are up and they spend £15 million on a League One striker. Wrexham, if they come up, they're going to splash the cash. We're going to have to invest probably double or triple what we have this season to be actually competitive. Otherwise, we will end up going back down. But that's a kind of separate. But it's just, yeah. I mean, once that ball goes in, Terry Devlin gets drawn in by Ellis Sims, and Patterson is free on the back post.
And I was going to bring that up.
It's an unreal finish. It really is. It's an unbelievable volley.
But of course, we got so much time, no pressure, no whatsoever. My other issue goal, which was, I don't think I've seen anyone mention, and it really pissed me off at the time. I don't understand why Matt Ritchie is trying to press in the 94th minute when he should be the one going with the player that scores. If he doesn't go all the way out the other end of the pitch and force them to kick the ball long, like, you should be like, have it in defence. You know, why are you pressing them? Why are you trying to rush them?
But that's it, isn't it? Then that's those little margins that we didn't do. Like, again, I don't want to keep bringing it up because I actually thought Bramwell played really well last night. But those of him making that decision, and obviously Conor Ogilvie and Bramwell them getting caught up, and then I didn't actually see it personally, but I think there was something where Potts had loads of space around him and kind of just booted it long, and then they regained possession. It's all those little margins which we should have done better.
But for me, Ritchie, for the experience he is, it surprised me. It would have been him tracking the player that scored. Because Devlin got brought over, he then would have been marking the goal scorer. I can't think of his name. Patterson, isn't it? But because he decided to press, he was nowhere near and had no chance of getting back. And I just thought, why are you trying to press in the 94th minute when a point last night would have been massive mentally? Do you know what I mean? Like, I was sat there buzzing, thinking, we've done it. When they hit the post, I thought, that's their chance gone. We're doing this.
I was watching it and I turned to my stepson as it got close. I went, Coventry will score. It just felt like it was coming. But
I was tidying up for that last 10, 15 minutes of the game because I just couldn't sit still. Like, obviously I could see my TV from my kitchen, so I was doing the washing up and everything. I was like, I just don't want to look. And then the last bit of washing, I looked over and they'd scored. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great finish. Like, he's caught it sweet, but
with no pressure.
You're
given it, like, if he even if Ritchie was there just to put a bit of doubt in his head, he might have.
I think pressure or not, the technique to be able to bury that in the far corner is really good, whether there's pressure there or not.
It just frustrates me. As I said, like, I don't and this thing like a skate. Unfortunately, this day and age, you can never point a finger at a player without being accused of scapegoating them. In my opinion, I just thought it was a bit strange why he was pressing in the 94th.
But it was Terry Devlin's man, so.
But he had the cover. But
he's got to tuck in.
He doesn't. He didn't need to.
Because if he doesn't tuck in, then whoever's in the middle is more spare.
Because Ogilvie and Bramwell were caught out, he had to then Paul had to go over to Ogilvie's man, and then it just brought them all over. But it wouldn't have mattered if Ritchie was there because Ritchie would have tucked in.
It's like if the ball's over one side of the pitch with a left back, the opposing left back will tuck in, even if the right wing is right on the byline. You tuck in because by the time the ball gets over there, you should all be able to shuffle across. But obviously, in that instance, when especially it's in the 18-yard box and there's a bit more chaos, you kind of have to make that decision to go. And the thing is, if Devlin would have stayed with me, it might have still gone on there. But the problem is, with the players, especially in the Championship, the quality, you sort of leave a gap and they tend to find it. So, Yeah, it's a tough one. It's what like Devlin just had to make a decision, and he probably made the one that he would naturally do, which
It was
I
just
think the majority would do.
like it was just a whole, and it's so similar. It's not just like one mistake every time. It's
But
like it's a whole multitude of individual stupid errors each time we do it.
But that's the thing with us. When especially when you're in an attacking phase, if you can keep the ball alive in that 18-yard box, it happens so many times. If you can keep the ball alive, the defensive unit will start to panic because they can't get it clear. And it's not on you to, as an attacking team, to get everything right. It's on the defensive side because Murphy, when he said about Hayden Carter, great goal by the way. Hayden Carter, about he's got to get 10 out of 10 right. All I need is 1 out of 10 to go right, and that's the same thing in that situation in the 8-yard box. If the attacking team can keep going, they just have to get one bit right, where the defending team have to get 10.
Yeah.
Happy now, Has?
Bit better, yeah.
Yeah. Spurs are now 1-0.
That's the finish, that.
Lovely. So like a young Daz and Nix, that was. I'm talking about the defending.
So Has the issue with Mills, both their goals was just too easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's kind of just, well, when isn't it? We just make it too easy every time, don't we? Really,
Especially from headers, from crosses.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we come back to again is the lack of height, because we didn't have a defender over 6 foot yesterday again. Obviously, Milosevic, we found out after the game, is now injured too, which is just fucking funny at this point. It is just funny at this point. I mean, I don't really know what else you can say. Just in the summer, if you're the centre half and Pompey go, we want to sign you, I'll be staying well clear, because every centre half we sign just get injured. We literally can't even do it. He hasn't even played a minute for us, and he's got a calf injury. So I think Milosevic probably would have started last night, but maybe even against Millwall if he wasn't. I still think he should have started in Millwall, but we are missing that physical aerial presence, that Shaughnessy we had a lot from last season. This season we've had Atkinson, even Hayden Matthews. He's 6'4". He's just having that aerial threat in both boxes and that presence, rather than kind of a 5'2", 5'11" centre half. So you kind of want a shorter one. You've got the Paul's attributes is a ball playing centre half, and if you have him next to a 6'4", 6'5" centre back in Atkinson or Shaughnessy or Matthews, in fact, then you've got a good kind of complement. They complement each other well, but Riley Towler still exists somewhere, but I just don't know where he is.
Harry, obviously, I agree with the fact with the height of our centre backs and stuff like that. The thing is with the 2 Millwall goals from Ivanovic, I don't understand how he was free for both of those, was the fact that he had a free header for both of them. He wasn't challenged. I don't think he jumped off for both of them. He might have done a little hop, but apart from that, he wasn't challenged. And
yeah,
you could have put Devlin next to him, who's actually pretty good in the air. If Devlin was stood alongside Ivanovic and challenged him, those 2 goals probably don't happen. So it's like, and I totally agree. We need our height. We need, especially when we want to attack from corners as well. And obviously that was quite a funny thing we said about last night with our defensive wall, where we had Bishop, Paul, and Ogilvy in that wall, and they weren't picking up, which I felt strange because, as we said, we've got no height as it is. So you're taking 3 of the best headers out of the defensive picture. It was a bit odd, but I mean, we got away with it, so it is what it is. But yeah, I think with those Millwall goals, it's just down to being switching off, especially the second one.
I think with the first one, so I was going to go to the first one, because it's from the corner, isn't it? I mean, Ivanovic kind of gives a little shove to Bishop to put him off balance, and it then means that Bishop isn't able to jump because he's kind of half falling forwards. But I'm not saying that that's a foul. I think that's really clever centre forward play. He's just given his man a little nudge. It wasn't anything that was a foul. It was just a little nudge to put him off balance and give himself that room to be able to take that header. But it's just, I'd just whatever, innit? Fuck it.
And the thing is with the second, I think because I don't know if because I remember what we used to do. We didn't used to do we used to do zonal. Then we didn't do zonal because we just picked up and we just left Raggett free. But off the top of my head, I can't remember if we do zonal marking from corners.
Bit by bit and bit.
Yeah,
half man, half zonal.
And that's it. And the problem is because when that ball came out for the second and Blair tried to get away, because that did come from a corner, didn't it? And Blair tried to get away, and then we got caught out because that's a bit where the defence and the attackers are coming up. And then if you're playing of zonals, or like you got certain players that might not be getting picked up. So from the second phase, they're still not getting picked up or not getting picked up quick enough because you're happening quite quickly. And I think that's where Ivanovic got his space because he was. There's no way a striker should be that free on the edge of the 6-yard box at that time in the game. That shows we've been so disorganised in that passage, and it's it was disappointing.
Was that a foul on Harvey Blair?
It's well when you say it's one of them, it can go either way. It's not clear, is it? So I think it is, but I don't blame the ref for not giving it, because it's one of those ones where say we're at Fratton Park. I'm not going to talk about this Saturday because I don't want to play that scenario in my head. But say in previous games, we're at home at Fratton Park, we're 1-0 down, and we have a corner, and it gets cleared, and then we do a similar thing on an opposing player, and that gets given as a foul. We all go mental because we just say it's like soft and things like that, and we've actually won the ball. So I think it depends how you look at it. I think
there's a foul. I think Blair fouls him and then he fouls him back. I think the ref just goes, you know what, you fouled each other, just get on with it.
It's a tough one. Obviously, when I watched it on the Saturday, I was like, in my head, I was screaming it was a foul. But when you look back at it and when you take your blue tinted glasses off, and I don't blame the ref for not giving it. And I'm the first one to have a pop at a ref if he deserves it. But that, when you see it, especially if you saw it in like normal speed and you're on the pitch, sometimes it's not easy to see and things like that. And I mean, they're the times when you're hoping that, because I think refs give the advantage to the defending side all the time. It's just a shame he didn't do that for us on Saturday, but we've only got ourselves to blame because, as has said about our previous efforts, where we should have had a foul, but then we haven't reacted, and that's another prime example of what we haven't done, from like reacting to sort of a bit of heartache.
But that's why I now think it's down to mentality.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I
think definitely for like that Millwall goal, that was definitely one for me, which I think has you completely right. There's been a few others where I think it's not as much, but there's still twinges of it there. And even though I'm not sure whether it's a mental, like you have to be in that change room to know if it is a mentality thing, because only they know. It looks like it could be.
They might not even know.
No,
you know
exactly.
Like,
sometimes it just happens, doesn't it? It's like I've done it when I've been playing. Like you're 1-0 up, last 5 minutes, and you'll be screaming to get up, get the line higher, but for some reason you just can't. Like you'll just keep naturally dropping back, and you just don't understand why you keep coming back. And no matter how much you scream and try and get everyone up the pitch, it just doesn't happen. It's weird.
Right. I would say that's the negativity gone. I think, unless there's anything more negative you two want to talk about.
No, I think we cleared everything.
I just think Messina out, really.
So let's talk about the positives of the two games.
I was joking, by the way, before anyone gets upset. I love the man.
As he stalks Messina, there's never, the only way he wants Messina out is to take him out.
I'm going to clip that, and I'm going to show John when I see him. I'm going to wait outside the ground. It's me that loves you, not him. Listen to this.
Right. So for me, positives from the Millwall game was, again, the same as Preston. Went 1-0 down, and we didn't do what we used to do away from home and just absolute capitulate, we then became the better team, in my opinion. And I thought, fair play to Harvey Blair, he almost had his Gavin White moment, because I thought he looked good when he come on, and what a ball he put in originally to start causing the trouble for the goal.
Yeah, and I think it was. I don't think we've ever doubted that Harvey Blair can be a good player for us, but it's just too early for him. And it's the same with Abdoulaye Kamara. Probably, well, I mean, last night Waddingham did really well when he was on as well, but again, kind of probably similar for him as well, where they are signed for the future. They're not ready yet. They need at least a season loan somewhere, probably League Two, and then one in League One, either 6 months or maybe even a 2-year loan, one in League Two, one in League One, to play men's football and develop, because neither of them have done that, Kamara and Blair. There's no doubt that they have talent. You wouldn't be in PSG and Dortmund's academy for Kamara, or in Liverpool's academy for Blair, if you didn't have that talent. They don't fuck about. They don't just keep you for shits and giggles. They have to have something there. Yes, they're not ready for Premier League and Bundesliga football, but they will be ready one day, and that showed us that there's just that little glimpse of talent that we know Blair has, and he was able to show us at that point. It was, as you said, it was a good first ball in to kind of tease them in, and then it ended up back to him, and he put it back in again, back into another dangerous area. And we just need to see more from that. Whether I don't think I would keep him next year. I think I would loan him next year. I really would, just because even if you feel he could have an impact, he needs to just play a full season of men's football somewhere, and he won't get that here because he's not there yet. He's only 21. You know, if you loan him out for a season or two, let him develop, then we can look at he can be bedded into the first team after that. But it was a much better performance than what we have seen previously, and I think maybe a month or two, obviously I know he had an injury, but then a month or two where he's been available and just not selected would have hopefully given him some, maybe kind of a bit of a rocket. So, okay, you've got to step it up.
There were 2 minutes before his cross, or maybe a bit longer than that, roughly 2 minutes. He had the similar situation, but he kicked it ahead of himself far too early, and the left back just got the ball off him like he was nothing. And Guy Whittingham said, "Oh, here we go. This is what he needs to improve on, what he needs to learn on." And then how he got the cross in, he learned on the spot, which for me is always a good sign of a good player with a good brain. That he did what he did the first time, went, "Oh, that didn't work," and then changed it up and was an absolutely outstanding ball. And that's always refreshing to see. Daz, first half against Coventry, I thought we outplayed them.
Yeah, I thought we were really good. To be honest, I said earlier, didn't I, that both Murphy and Conor Bramwell were getting in down that left-hand side. A couple of decent balls from, from Ogilvy as well to put him in, and there was a couple of times where we, from both wings actually, pulled the ball back and was a good defensive tackle from Coventry away from getting a shot on target. I know Bishop had one. I think Murphy had at least one. I don't know if Conor Bramwell had an opportunity as well, but yeah, I thought first half we were really good. They had one or two opportunities, but again, they were always going to have it. And I think I said it on the pod last week about, obviously I thought it was going to be more like a 1-1. And I thought Murphy, especially on a big pitch, was really going to be able to influence the game. And in the first half, that's how it looked like it might play out. As I said, big pitch, being able to use the pace that we had going forward. The only disappointing thing I think was O'Sheesh looked a bit of a passenger, but
I was going to bring up Oshish.
Yeah, it seemed like it. I mean, he did some nice bits here and there, but I'm just not sure whether he just has enough game. And again, I think it's probably the fact that we're comparing Oshish to Lang, and they're not the same player. And I think we're all guilty of it, even though we try not to do it. You're still thinking about that, aren't you?
It's the lack of options there as well, though, isn't it? Because you're kind of shoehorning Devlin into the 10, and he's not a natural 10. The only other natural 10 we do have is injured, and he's kind of that flair player, but I think it was Pompey Pedro again. He kind of said he's all fart, no poo, and he does feel that kind of player. He's just kind of flatters to deceive a bit, but for me, he's had enough game time now. He should know. He should be up to speed. He should be able to know the system and how we want to play.
I don't think he suits us.
No.
And I don't think he was brought in to suit us. He was brought in to not be Lane's replacement.
A body, yeah.
Be a different... Because especially when you're on top, she could probably be that player that picks that lock in like a little tight area, rather than where Lang relies, and he's really good at it, obviously his energy and pressing and everything like that, where she seems to be that more of a intricate, like more skillful player in that sort of small areas where he might be able to muster something out of it. I don't think he suits, as Russ said, I don't think he suits us for 90% of the way we play, but can be like maybe obviously like when we played Plymouth and he had that shot right at the end, great goal to be fair, and maybe that's kind of what he's there for, to be in those instances.
I just think he was brought in to offer something different.
Yeah.
Not to do Lane's work. That makes sense. Do you know what I mean? And that's been his issue. I don't think he was even brought in probably to start that often. I think he was brought in to make an impact if we need him as a sub. You know, in a game where maybe you need someone just to hold the ball up a bit more, or we're lacking creativity in this game, let's get someone on who can. Because a couple of times he tried a couple of things, and you know when some players just don't read it.
Yeah.
If only they read that, it would have made Oshish look brilliant.
Yeah, that was that one thing where he played inside in the second half. I think it was. I don't know I don't know if he's trying to play it to Bishop or something like that, but
yeah, it was Bishop.
Yeah, he tried to play it inside, and I can see what he was trying to do, but I don't think Bishop was ever going to do that. No. So I don't understand.
So it's one of the difficult ones with Oshish. So it's sort of like maybe just the wrong timing. If Lang ain't got injured, I think we would see a different Oshish.
Yeah,
he's kind of forced to play a way that I just don't think it suits him, and that's not on him. He wasn't asked to sign. Probably for that reason. It's just happened because of injuries again.
What I do hope is that Oshish doesn't come under any stick, because he looks like that kind of player that, especially when he's playing, it looks. I don't know whether he looks like he doesn't give a shit, but it's that type of player, like socks down, can seem a bit like the game's passing them by, where he actually seems like a good bloke. Whenever you do those, Pompey do those videos at the end of the game, he's always
loves it.
Always energetic, loving it, and like singing along to some of the songs as well. So, I hope that he doesn't come under any stick, because I think there's a decent player in there, and I think he can be a player that can turn a game and just make something out of nothing. So, and that's...
He's sort of player. I wouldn't be shocked if on Saturday he was outstanding and got like 3 assists or something. He's that sort of player, and then do fuck all for about 3 games afterwards.
Yeah, which is fine. I ain't got a problem with that. If he can get us 3 points Saturday, I'm happy.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to mention that we haven't brought up? Maybe I've missed something, forgotten something.
I don't think so.
Other than Andre DazHarry is a good backup choice as a keeper again.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Well, yeah.
When I first saw that, I was like, that looks iffy. And then when you saw it at the replay, I'm like, how did the ref not see that? He's literally looking right at it.
Oh no, I don't get how we got away with one there massively. But
that is mental.
We got lucky. But
Shane,
we then
mistake.
it didn't really matter anyway because we fucking lost. So
I think I'd rather we could see that penalty lost then than get my heart broke because I went in my head thinking we're going to get smashed. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's
I thought it's a Wednesday night away from home against a team trying to get in the Premier League. Like, what hope have we got? Do you know what I mean?
it's the manner, isn't it? If we went 1-0 down kind of early on with that, if that was a penalty given and they scored from it, you kind of have the rest of the game to kind of accept it. But it's, as you say, it's kind of it being at the end. You know, we're so close. We're 22 seconds away from getting a well-earned point away from home, and we don't. So yeah, it's the manner of it, isn't it? We're so close again, but it's like the carrot and the donkey, and that dangling that carrot, and then another donkey comes along and just eats it right in front of you, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Certainly is. Right, should we move on to Derby then, boys? Harry, was there any? I suppose me and you would have got a point for getting the Coventry outcome right.
Yeah, so
much of a difference between you and Daz because clearly I'm going to win.
yeah, so me and you, obviously, we both predicted us to lose, not because we want to, just because it's us. So we knew we were going to lose. So Russ, you've extended your lead to 10 points ahead, onto 36. Daz is still in second on 26, but I am 1 point behind Daz onto 25.
God, you boys are going to have to fight it out for where. Either of you come up with any ideas? I've got one.
Well, if you're the winner, I suppose you'll probably have to be the one that picks it. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it with me for a minute.
Well, because you're worried that if you capitulate, we might suggest it, then you'll be doing it.
Yeah. Like, I'll be shocked if you two make up 10 points in 6 games.
Well,
But,
if you get a correct score and a goal scorer, that's 5 points.
Yeah, but I need both of you to do it. I'm all right finishing second.
You never
Should we just do the same scores and goal scorers?
Yeah, we'll just tag him. We'll just tag team him.
Right, Has, can you do? I'm assuming you've got your prep work for it.
I have indeed.
Right, take away.
So, before we start, can you tell me the last time Portsmouth actually beat Derby?
What at all?
At all?
Was it? Well, not Benjani's hat trick, was it?
Nah. Was it? No. It was...
no, it'd have been the League Cup, wouldn't it, when Chaplin scored?
Yeah,
it was indeed.
There you go.
That is the only time we have beaten them in the last 10 attempts. So
positivity has.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what's going on. So
it's been a lot of draws, though, isn't it?
There has been a lot of draws. Apart from before the game this season when we lost 4-0, the previous 4 games had all been draws.
Yeah, the most boring draw as well was when I think Cowley was in charge. That was horrendous.
That 0-0.
Yeah,
that's fun.
We had a 0-0, a 1-0, and then 2 2-2s, didn't we? Or something like that.
Fun times. So they are 3 points behind us. Since John Eustace has come in, they've had started off slow, but they've kind of picked up points. Obviously, we've only had 1 win in 5. They've had 3 wins and a draw in 5. They've had a pretty decent draw at home to Burnley, which obviously we did as well, but it's pretty decent. They're 3 points behind us. Their goal difference is 6 better than us, so if they were to beat us, they would overtake us on goal difference. It's tight, we know that, but since Eustace has come in, Marcus Harness has kind of looked a bit more of himself. He wasn't really a Paul Warne player.
Useless.
But huh?
What, useless?
Yeah. Well,
never.
But he's kind of looked more of himself, so he'll probably score against us, no doubt. The referee is called Ruben Ricardo. He has reffed 4 times in the Championship this season. His first game was on New Year's Day. He has only reffed in the Champ since then. He's never reffed a Portsmouth game. He's reffed the Derby game, which was their 1-1 draw away to Norwich at the beginning of February. So he's relatively new to this level. He's not an experienced ref
Great.
in the Championship.
It's going to be a shit show, isn't it?
Yeah, he's done a lot of mostly League 2 and National League. He's done about 10 League 1 games, a couple of EFL Cup games, but mostly League 2 and National League. So,
if anyone likes the bets, I suggest putting down a lot of yellow cards.
Yeah.
That's a massive jump, isn't it? Like, not even doing the League 1 and then coming into like...
He has done some League 1, but he's just done more League 2s than that.
Oh, right. Okay. I thought I didn't hear League 1. I thought, geez, that's like the proper business end of the season. 2 teams that is going to be a massive, whatever the outcome is going to be massive.
He's obviously, he must be good because he started this season doing Premier League 2 in August. Right. And he's gone from Premier League 2 into the National League, into League 2, into League 1, into the Championship within like 6 to 7, 8 months. Yeah, so he must be doing something right to be able to get that kind of progression that quick. So he must be.
I just hope he. I want to ref like we did against Leeds. Someone just let things go. I don't want to whistle every.
But Derby are going to play that way. You know that.
I know they are.
They're going to be.
I'm not looking forward.
Every
to it,
time if they get the ball kind of facing their own goal, they're going to fall over and get the free kick with the slightest touch. Like if a bloody fly goes past them a mile away, they'll fall over and get a free kick. You just know that that's the way Derby are going to go. But maybe they won't. They're going to have to come at us slightly, right? They are outside of the relegation zone currently, but they're only on goal difference outside the relegation zone, aren't they? To Cardiff, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So they've kind of they need to. Again, it comes back to our positivity, and what Pompey Pedro said on Twitter was, it's in our hands. We're playing a team that are below us. They've got to come. The pressure is on them, not us, because if they come and just sit back and take a draw, is that really good enough for them? Because they could be.
Looking at their fixtures,
they could be 2 points into the relegation zone by the end, but we aren't. So happy days. Do you know? So
I'll tell you who I wouldn't want to be at the moment. That is Cardiff.
I think Cardiff are gone, mate. I do think it's the bottom 3 as they are now. But
I think they've got the hardest running out of all the teams. And
then we can sign Robbo. So happy days really for everyone. I think it's going to be tough. It's not going to be. We can't. I know, kind of. Obviously, we've won so many home games this year, but I don't know. I'll come back to me for my prediction.
You what? Sorry.
Come back to me for my prediction.
All right. Okay. Daz, you go first then.
Yeah.
3-0.
Well, like this is like going to be similar to what I was saying against Blackburn. That, as I said earlier on in the season, I'm always very wary of calling games must win or like stuff like that. But I think all of our home games are going to be in that bracket of we've got to win. So I am going to be like in that instance, and I think let's go for a 2-0. I'm literally just pulling a. It's going to be close, and I don't think 2-0 is going to be like an easy 2-0. I think if anything, it's going to be 1-0 up until the very last minute, and I think Derby are going to have to push, and then maybe we can catch them on the break or stuff like that. So 2-0. I'm going to go with Bishop.
Fucking hell, we didn't go with Murphy, Russ.
Nah.
Has?
Straight in, 3-1, Pompey win, Connor Ogilvie to score.
Fucking both of you nick my goal scorers. I'll tell you one thing, I'll be shocked if it's a draw. I think we're both, other than might be Blackburn, I think we're like least drawn teams in the league or something like that.
Yeah, we've both only drawn 9.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a win or a loss. Would you take? for me, I don't think a draw is good enough. Like, and I don't necessarily mean, if we draw, we're going to get relegated. I just mean, like, this is your chance Saturday now to go out there and win at home, put them 6 points behind you. No matter, you got Stoke playing Cardiff, so one of them's going to drop points, and maybe both of them.
Probably could do with a Stoke win there.
Yeah. So say we win, Stoke win. You're talking 6 points clear of Derby and Cardiff, with 4 games to go.
Yeah.
That's one more win, and you might be safe.
Watford at home, Bosh.
I mean, you might not even need to win again. You might literally just need both of them to lose 2 more games by the end of the season, then you're safe. You know what I mean? So it's not draw is horrendous, but I just think this, at home you've got to take advantage of it. Harness will score because he's a prick, and I know he will. But I'm going 2-1 Pompey, and I've got to rethink who I'm going for now.
The only thing
he should have, maybe not should have scored. He was unlucky not to score last night. I'm going to go Regan Paul.
The only thing I would caveat is under Eustace they play a back 3, and we have struggled to play against back 3s.
Do we go to 4-4-2 then, do you reckon? Do you reckon we go similar to a Coventry?
It would make more sense rather than having 3 centre-halves marking Bishop, because otherwise he's basically going to have no effect on the game. It's worth changing something. Obviously, we have won our last home game, but obviously we lost to Preston. It does feel like a needs-must situation. It would be better to go for it, go 4-4-2 or something, go early, try and get a 2-goal lead, maybe if you can, and then you can drop to 1 up front after and kind of change the way. But if they're going to be playing 3 at the back, if you're going to have the 1 striker, doesn't really make sense to me. But
no, not at home. I think you'd be better off going 4-4-2.
What was your prediction, Russ? Sorry, I didn't write it down.
2-1 and Regan Paul to score.
Lovely.
Because Harness is going to score. I've noticed he's playing as a striker, which probably is why.
That's what I'm saying. So Clark is playing as a back 3, and then Harness is up front with Jerry Yates a lot of the time. Yeah.
So I'll be shocked if he doesn't score. Right. Anything else to say about Derby?
No, I'm just going to get very, very drunk because I know how nervous I'm going to be. That's about it.
Fair enough. Right, are we ready for Has versus Daz?
Yeah.
Good. So this week we're going to play the chase.
Oh, love the chase.
One of you will have a slight advantage of being not the chaser, because but all we're going to do is that at the end where the contestants get 1 minute 30 seconds to answer questions.
Yeah.
Right, the chaser's got to beat them. Yeah. So if you're a contestant and the chaser gets a question wrong, you have a chance to push him back. Yeah?
Jesus. Yeah.
So to determine that, we're going to have what I have done the last couple of weeks, a tiebreak of random shit.
There's 2 windows in Buckingham Palace.
750 windows.
So as you kicked up such a fuss, you could have the advantage. This time it's going to be a year. All I need is a year from you, Daz. Okay?
Yeah.
The question is, when was Chelsea Castle built? And then Daz, you get a choice of picking a year or going higher or lower.
I'll go higher or lower.
Or earlier or whichever way you want to go.
Yeah.
1546.
Okay, so Daz, do you think it was before 1546 or after 1546?
Before.
Southsea Castle was built in 1544.
Fuck off.
Did you fucking hell, that was close.
I know. That was weird. Honestly, I have no idea. I just guessed a random year.
So, Daz, you could either be the contestant with a slight advantage of being able to push the chaser back, or you can be the chaser and go after Has.
Go on, I'll be the contestant because I've always wanted to do this.
Okay, then. So you be going first, then, Daz.
Yeah.
There are a mixture of normal football questions and some Pompey ones. All right.
Cool.
So we take turns, yeah?
Yeah.
Daz than me.
No.
Daz is the contestant. He will answer questions in 1 minute 30 seconds. How many he gets right, you need to beat. But if you get wrong,
we're doing it like that.
stop.
Yeah.
The time will stop, and he'll have a chance to push you back. All right.
Yeah, I'll get that. Yeah.
Right, Daz, your 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Thank you, Bradley. Let's go.
Starts now. Right, who assisted Kanu's goal versus AC Milan?
Armour Traore.
No, it was Glenn Johnson.
Glenn Johnson. Shit, yeah.
The Scudetto is the name given to the league title in which European country?
Italy.
Correct. In the 17-18 season, how many league goals did Brett Pittman score?
19.
It was 24.
Oh,
Which club did Alan Shearer win the Premier League title with?
Blackburn.
Correct. Who won Pompey's Player of the Season in the 02-03 season?
Paul Merson.
No, it was Livoid Primus. Red Bull own a football club based in which Austrian city?
Salzburg.
Correct. Who was Pompey's record signing?
John Utaka?
No, Peter Crouch.
Oh, fuck. I'm getting all the Pompey ones wrong.
Which two teams play in the Barcelona derby?
Barcelona and pass.
Which footballer has won the Premier League with both Leicester City and Manchester City?
Mahrez.
Correct. Which former FIFA World Player of the Year became president of his home country in 2018?
Pass.
From which club did Pompey sign Lassana Diarra from?
Chelsea.
Incorrect.
Arsenal. Fuck.
Time. That's his time.
Mate, that was horrendous. All the Pompey ones wrong.
4 right. So, so it was Arsenal. George Ware was the player.
I knew a lot of them.
The other team that has in the Barcelona derby?
I didn't listen to that one. Sorry.
I knew all them. Not that one.
It was Espanyol.
That's it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so you just need 5, Has, to draw level.
Jesus, that was horrendous.
Daz, you were awful, mate.
I was.
But, Daz, you do have a chance. If he gets one wrong, you can push him back. All right?
No need, lads.
Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Go. So, which player had 13 years between his 2 Champions League wins in 1995 and 2008?
Pass.
Right, so it stops.
What was the question again?
Huh?
What was the question?
The question was, which player had 13 years between his 2 Champions League wins in 1995 and 2008?
Jesus, 95, 2008, 2008 Man United. Who the fuck was in that? Edwin van der Sar?
Correct.
Fucking get in.
That's ridiculous.
So that's taking your score to 6.
Woo.
To 5. You now need 6, Has. Time starts now. Has the Brazilian legend Romario has played 5 seasons for which Dutch club before moving to Barcelona?
Ajax.
Incorrect.
PSV?
It was PSV. He's now 6-0 up. There is 1 minute left on the clock. Has, are you ready?
Yeah.
Go. Which Pompey player was called up to England's World Cup 2010 squad?
Pass.
Okay.
I could have really done with the other set of questions.
Sure, it's David James.
It was David James, yes. So that is
I
now...
needed these questions.
So that's now 7-0, Daz. Just over a minute left on the timer, Has. All right.
Go on.
Go. How many Premier League teams originally competed?
18.
Incorrect.
Jesus. I'm going to say 14 then.
No, it was 22.
Was it? Oh,
I thought it was less.
No, they did because
they reduced it.
Yeah, they wanted to reduce it to make it. I think they could make more money and make it more competitive. That was it.
Right. Time starts again now. In what football league does the Beckham rule apply?
MLS.
Correct. Which English team plays their home games at the Wham Stadium?
Accrington Stanley.
Correct. Which English club was the first to win 2 European cups? Sorry.
Did you say English?
Yes.
Spurs.
Incorrect.
I can't remember if we've had this before.
No, we haven't had this before.
Nottingham Forest.
No, it was Liverpool.
Was it?
Yeah, they were the first English team to win 2 European cups.
Oh.
Right. Are you ready, Haz?
Go on, tell me what we got left and how long.
So you have got 30 seconds left and you need 5 correct answers.
All right, cool.
Go. Who was the last Pompey player signed permanently from Liverpool?
Harvey Blair.
Correct. What is Juventus' nickname?
The old lady.
Correct. Which football club has stand named after Elton John?
Watford.
Correct. Where was the 2002 World Cup held?
Japan.
I need more.
And South Korea.
Correct. Which striker was the first to score more than 20 goals in 5 consecutive seasons? This is the last question, and if you get it, you're tied.
For who?
I'll repeat the question just out of fairness. Which striker was the first to score more than 20 goals in the Premier League?
Oh, you missed that.
Consecutive seasons.
Don't know. I'll go Alan Shearer.
Incorrect. Close. I tell you what, I thought you were going to do at one point, Harry.
Yeah. Come on, nowhere. I thing is, I needed that one because for some reason I was better at asking questions that had nothing to do with Pompey for some reason.
So the answer to that question was Thierry Henry.
Yeah. He's not really a striker though, is he? He was.
Of course he was.
He started as a winger, but he put him up
for
front.
Arsenal. He was a striker.
Yeah.
VAR needed on that, lads.
Nah, absolutely fine.
For Arsenal, he was a striker all day long.
Oh shit!
Before you were born, wasn't it?
Yeah, would have been.
Right then, Daz, you've got a win for the first time in a while.
Yeah. Hopefully this is going to be like Pompey. So we had a big lead, we've cut down, and then we're going to start extending again.
Has 10, Daz 12. Close.
How many episodes we got left? 3.
Sure, we got more than that, no? 1, 2, 3 definite. We're open for a 4th, aren't we?
So yeah, so I'll need to win the rest of them. Jeez.
Yep, definitely. Right then, come on in, Haz. Let's do it. Harry's Who Am I?
That's it. You know it. It's everyone's favourite time of week, especially if you're called Russ.
Yeah, I was really disappointed in my performance last week.
You should be. Right. Clue number 1. I played for 20 clubs in my career 8 of them on loan.
That's a lot of clubs.
It's a lot of clubs.
That's like almost a year, isn't it?
More clubs than Tiger Bloody Woods. To be fair, you could go on loan twice in a season, couldn't you?
Especially back in the day, there was no rules on loans. And do you remember you used to be able to loan a player for a month?
Yeah. I think you kind of still can, depending on like.
That's an emergency loan now, though, isn't it? I think.
Yeah,
but that's
before you could literally just go, "Oh, we'll try them out for a month." Now they're rubbish; they can go back.
Yeah.
But where you can't do that now, it's 6 months or a year, and that's it. 20. Who's a journeyman? What journeymans have we had? We had quite a few.
We have had quite a few.
This could be an old journeyman, like a 90s journeyman, or God, hit the post. Like a more recent journeyman.
Yeah, I don't know who that could. I think it's just going to be a random guess, isn't it?
Just trying to think, it's players who've played for lots of clubs.
Yeah, and older, because.
Do you get the feeling I got a feeling this is like a 90s player or something?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
The problem is with 90s players, and I know enough about them, but to know them as like a journeyman and things like that, I don't know if I could pick that out.
I can't think of anyone. All I keep thinking is Claridge, but I don't think he went out loan 8 times.
No, yeah, I think he went predominantly because actually, when you were talking about his podcast, at work after that, I looked at his Wikipedia, and I don't think he had a load. I think he only had like 4 or 5 loans.
Yeah.
Tell you what, my days!
Just because it gets out of my head, I'm just going to say him. Is it Steve Claridge?
I'm going to go just a random guess. Jermaine Pennant.
Clue number 2. I played with Marlon Pack, Matt Tubbs, and Damien McCrory, but not at Pompey.
Who was Damien McCrory? Was he that left back that got injured?
Was his name Damien, or was that his brother's? Because he's a twin, isn't he? Because I don't think was it Damien McCrory that played for us. He's now at Bristol City.
He was the one. Did we loan him from Burton or something like that?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't he a keeper?
No. He left back. Remember when we had that Huddersfield left back? Can't think of it.
Yeah.
Right.
I do remember now.
Got injured. We then brought him in, and then he got injured.
Tariq Holmes-Dennis.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm thinking of the lad we had on loan from Aberdeen, who's now at Bristol City.
Ross McCrory.
Ross McCrory, that's it. That's why I was getting confused.
He was on loan from Rangers at the time.
Oh, Rangers, of course it was. Then I think he went back to Rangers.
His brother's Robbie McCrory, and he's the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's it.
So our theory of it being a 90s journeyman is out the window.
Yeah. So,
who's Pack played for? He's played for Cheltenham, Dagenham and Redbridge. He went on loan to Wickham, if I remember rightly. And then who the fuck do we sign him from? Cardiff. Have I missed one? Is that all of them?
Bristol City. Did you say Bristol City?
Oh, no, I didn't say Bristol City. Well done. Yeah.
So who are the other players? So that McCrory, and who's the third one?
Matt Tubbs.
So Matt Tubbs, he would have been at Crawley, Wimbledon.
Fuck, who else has he been at? Bournemouth.
Jesus, wow, this is
Wimbledon, yeah. Forest Green he went to after us, didn't he? Haven't. I'm sure he played for Avon or Waterloo.
Salisbury. I'm pretty sure he was there for a bit.
It could have been. Yeah, wasn't that like where he started, Salisbury, thinking about it?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it was. Yeah. That's where he became kind of famous. And I think Then he got to move to because Salisbury were in the conference. They were a decent side, the good side now, but they were better then.
So there's no crossover with Pack there, is there?
No.
It's
that McCrory one that's interesting. Like when you say Burton, I didn't know whether maybe he was at Burton like someone like Tom Naylor, but I don't think Tom Naylor's been on loan that many times, has he?
Yeah,
maybe for us, I don't know.
No, if I don't know. I honestly don't know who this could be. This literally could be anyone.
Yeah,
I can't time in. I'm actually going to skip this one. I want to know the last question.
Yeah, I'll just get. I'll just say Tom Naylor.
I feel like these are getting harder.
Yeah.
Who's your guess, Daz?
I'll just say Tom Naylor because I'm just thinking Burton. Just quickly, just getting through it.
Clue number 3. I scored on my debut for Pompey, despite only making 6 appearances for them.
What's his name? Is it Mason? What's his first name?
Hey, what, the Wolves player?
Yeah, because he
did he score?
I don't know if he scored, but I'm thinking of that. He would have played. I think he would have played with Packet, maybe because he won at Cardiff as well. I don't know. I'm getting confused. I just thought of that. What's his first name? Is it Chris Mason? Not Chris Mason.
Yeah, Chris. But I don't remember him scoring.
No, but that's just coming to my head for some random reason.
It's not Chris.
That's not his first name.
No.
What was his first name then?
Joe.
Mason. Huh?
Joe
Mason. That was it.
Yeah, I don't think wait, if you really want to go for him, but
no, that's fine. I was just throwing that name out. Just all of a sudden, just tweaked in my head.
Yeah,
because he didn't play a lot of games for us.
No, I'm pretty sure he didn't score. I don't think he ever played for the teams that the others have played, other than Burton.
Yeah, because I thought he'd been at Cardiff.
Yeah, he was at Cardiff, but when that way before Pack, I'm sure that was one of his first. That's where Wolves got him from.
Could have been, yeah.
Now I'm trying to think of it's strikers who scored on debut and didn't score again. And how many games did you say they played? Sorry, mate.
6.
Not a lot of games, is it?
How many did Owen Doyle score on his debut? Because again, I don't think he played that many games in the.
No, he scored against Colchester.
Yeah, and he scored against Blackpool, I think, did
he? Yeah. So he got 2 goals.
Yeah.
So other strikers. John Akinde, did he score?
He didn't score on his debut because that was away at AFC Bournemouth. Because I was at a game. Because him, Rakon, and Ajiman all started to the same game, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was their first game.
Just trying to think of strikers. Who's that one who scored? Do you remember when we played Dagenham and we beat them 4-1? What was his fucking name?
Was he on loan from Aston Villa?
Possibly. He scored a mad goal in that game.
Short, mate. He's got short, dark hair, shaved, a little bit longer than shaved.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't remember what his name is now.
Mad goal, and then
yeah.
Again. I'm gonna guess him if I can think of his name.
Yeah, that matey. Yeah, it's going to be one of those a striker that we've had on loan, which
Michael Drennan.
That's it.
Is it Michael Drennan?
Jesus.
I just remembered he scored twice in that game.
Jesus. Well, I've got to come up with someone.
Come on, Daz. You're the Hail Mary. Think of a striker that's barely played and possibly might have scored.
Jesus.
Well, What about that shit? Was it Paul Benson? He was shit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Score
Craig
for us?
Westcar. How many did Craig Westcar score, mate?
He scored a few, didn't he? Not lots, but like more than one. Put it that way.
Yeah. Benson, there could be a shout, to be fair, but I can't remember if he's. I know he definitely scored one. I don't know if that was on his debut.
I know he got one, but I have no idea if it was a debut, and I have no idea if he scored more than one.
Yeah.
I don't remember him being here long. Just trying to think of strikers.
I'll have to admit defeat because this could be fucking anyone. Because the amount of strikers we've had here for like 2 minutes, played like scored 1 goal, played 6, and left would probably be quite a few.
Miles Story scored more than one. But I think he spent most of his career non-league, isn't he?
Yeah, he was up in Scotland for quite a bit as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. Tom Craddock, did he ever score for us?
But he was injured, wasn't he, for God knows how long. I can't remember if he did score. Because I think it'll be a player that played like League 2, League 1, because they're the places that you just have a big, high turnover of players.
Not only that, the play with the players that has mentioned were probably more likely to be.
Yeah. I'm going to go for that Paul Benson, because that's all I can think of, really. But yeah, Paul Benson. Give us another little clue. I know we ain't
What clubs do they play with each other with?
Yeah.
What's that?
Okay, but you accept you got it. You didn't get it, right?
Yeah.
We accept it.
I only made it harder because the first few weeks you both got it really easily, so I've made it harder. Right, Marlon Pack, Cheltenham. Matt Tubbs, Bournemouth. Damien McCrory, Dagenham and Redbridge.
Jesus, I still don't know. So we play at Dagenham, Redbridge.
What
Cheltenham.
strikers have we got? That should be easy.
Oh,
I'm not giving you any more clues after this.
Cheltenham.
That's fine.
Cheltenham back then. So that they won. Were they League 2? Was that League 2 or the conference that Marlon Pack was there?
No, that was League 2.
It was League 2, wasn't
it? Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I can't think of a Bournemouth / Cheltenham. As you're saying that, we're saying strikers. Just they score 1 goal doesn't mean they're a striker, is it? They're going to be the fucking centre back.
Just trying to picture them in their kits playing at because that's sometimes kind of a good way of trying to visualise the players.
Why on earth did we go down the striker route? It literally could be a centre back.
Yeah, could be. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I'm anywhere near this even right now.
Go on then. Come on. Just give it to us.
It was Wes Thomas.
Jesus. Did he
only score 1?
Yeah. He scored against Scunthorpe on his debut, and then that was the only goal he scored.
I thought he scored 2 in one game. Did he not?
I could have sworn he scored more than 1. He was a good little player. He scored 3 goals for us. Oh, boo!
Searching.
What's going on here? Is this a VAR check? I think it is.
To be fair, actually, if you listen to the question, I said I scored on my debut despite only making 6 appearances. I didn't say I didn't score again.
I could have sworn he said he scored 1 goal on his debut.
Wow, we're going to have a listen back to this.
Yeah, he scored 1 goal on his debut. I scored on my debut despite only making 6 appearances.
Russ, remember this when it's Has versus Daz next week?
I will.
Thank you.
That's fine. I think we just zoned in onto something that probably wasn't there.
You zoned in on the strikers, and I'm not really sure why.
Well, to be fair, he was
a striker, wasn't he?
He was a winger, isn't he?
No, he was a striker.
I think all the strikers are wingers in tonight's episode, according to me.
Are you thinking of Jerome Thomas?
No, he was a striker, wasn't he?
Who, Jerome Thomas?
Jerome Thomas was a winger.
Yeah. Wes Thomas was a striker.
Was a striker.
Oh, I've probably got them mixed up in my head then.
Oh, John, what's going on here?
It's the right player. Shut up.
It's absolute madness.
You sure?
Do you want another one just to shut you two up then?
God, we're actually quite early for once.
Right. Russ, pick a number between 32 and 49.
Let's nick next week's 32.
Right. The season I won promotion at Pompey, I was released on a free transfer.
Oh, this narrows it down straight away.
So he was released in the summer before we got promoted.
Let's just make sure we get this definitely spot.
The season I won promotion at Pompey, I was released on a free transfer.
So he won promotion, then got released. That's the way
That sounds like it, yeah. Because I wouldn't say, I won promotion when I was released before the season started, or even in January, because you haven't won it.
So we're looking at, obviously, there are. I'm going to put the 80s on the back burner for the moment, and any time before that. So we got the 02-03, haven't we?
Yeah.
We got last season, obviously, and then we got the 16, 16?
16, 17.
16, 17, yeah. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. And to be fair, like, a few players were released at 16, 17 because, like, Jacket came in, didn't he? And I think he wanted them.
Yep.
Did Cole Baker hang around?
Who?
Cole Baker.
Yeah.
Did he play it all for Jacket?
He started the season, didn't he? So he didn't get released.
No, that's what I was trying to think. Did he start?
Yeah, he played the first, 1 or 2 games,
Did he?
I want to say. Was Roberts released or did we sell? He's done Gary Roberts, hasn't he?
Yeah. Did he say, sorry, did you say released before the season started?
No, he just said got released.
The season I won promotion at Pompey, I was released on a free transfer.
Yeah, so he just was released. That I'd imagine that summer.
But he still could have played in some games at the start of the season because of the transfer window.
Oh yeah, but was Carl Baker released?
I don't know. But I don't forget, like in those days, especially like we've only just started selling like players for fees up until like this season or maybe season before. We were just releasing everyone, weren't we? Just letting everyone go.
Go for it.
Yeah, go on, Cole Baker. What the delay in that was.
I think he was probably trying to think who Cole Baker was. Because that's what it sounded like.
Oh, did it? My speech impediment.
Right. Players released. Yoshi Kawaguchi.
Yeah, because he was actually.
I played with Hayden Mullins, Michael Doyle, and Paul Merson, but not at Pompey.
This sounds more the 02-03. It can't be. Because he would have played with Merson. Fucking hell. This can't be the same.
So,
right.
Could Merson have played...
Unless it's an 80s player.
But Doyle and... So, who was it? Doyle, Merson. I'm going to write this down because I keep forgetting. So, Merson, Doyle...
And who was the third, Harry?
Hayden Mullins.
So it can't be an 80s player then, can it?
No. Because Mullins is like West Ham, Watford, isn't he? Did he play at Watford?
What, Mullins?
Yeah. Is it Watford?
West Ham. Was it Crystal Palace?
Yeah. So obviously, don't forget, like he could have been in the academy and stuff like that as well, wasn't it?
I'm going to say Birmingham.
This one's going to be tough. Merson is obviously Arsenal, Villa, Middlesbrough. Could he have played with the person that made it Walsall?
And then who's the other player?
Doyle.
Try 3 players. Something my brain can never do.
Michael Doyle, Hayden Mullins.
Michael Doyle was what? Sheffield United, Coventry. He must have played for more teams than that, surely.
This is another toughie.
There's the thing that's thrown me. It's the first question where it's it. When I won, was it one promotion with Portsmouth, or was it just when I won promotion?
When I won promotion at Portsmouth, I was released on a free transfer.
Right. So then that draws me to the 02-03 season, but then it can't be because he didn't play with Paul Merson.
Do you know what? Like, because of like, I'm very wary now about how he words these things. Like when he says, "I won promotion," when I won promotion at Portsmouth, were they playing for like Norwich, who got promoted at Portsmouth? Like, and then he's released. I don't know. This is what my head's now doing.
Has he's got in our heads? I can't think of anyone in like this who would have played with Merson.
I just see Cock do a great tackle.
So
I might have done that wrong. Hang on.
More controversy.
Yeah, I've done that wrong.
Okay, what part of it have you done wrong?
Paul Merson. Paul Merson.
It had to be. I knew it had to be Merson.
He didn't play with Mullins or Doyle at Portsmouth, but he may have done.
Oh, here we go.
That's my bad.
That's what threw me, because I thought, hang on a minute. We got promoted in 02-03. Merson was in that squad. The next time we got promoted, Doyle was in that squad. So it was like, none of this makes any sense. It can't have been someone last season, because none of them played with Merson. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, that's my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. That's fine.
That's fine.
So,
right.
Who got released in the 02-03 season when we went up? It's not Eddie Howe, is it? Did he get released?
Is that your guess?
Yeah, go on.
Not Eddie Howe. So who got released from that squad? Gianluca Feste, he got released, didn't he? He played.
Retire?
He might have done, yeah.
I think that's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Don't get in our heads.
Yeah, I'm not listening.
What if he got released and then retired after, though? That's different.
Yeah, but we did that. All the players were always boots, didn't they? So,
Was Kevin Harper released?
No, because I remember he played against Liverpool in the FA Cup. He passed to Richard Hughes.
No, wasn't that Steve Stone?
No.
Was it not?
Kevin Harper played against Liverpool, yeah.
Oh, so, like, Chet Diabate, not Chet Diabate, but Diabate, whatever his name was, he wasn't there in the Premier League, but that wouldn't be him, surely.
But then it's going to be this like technicality of, well, I never said he got released in that summer. He probably got released 4 years later.
I'm just trying to look at the side. Dion Burton.
That's a shout.
Yeah, go on, Dion Burton.
Oh, shit, I've lost it. Anyhow, I'm doing very well here.
Right, we know what season it is now.
Well, if we don't get this,
yeah,
I'll get
just give up
forever. No more Has versus no more Harry's Who Am I? Come on, Harry.
I used to hold the record for the fastest debut sending off in English football history.
How was that not like? How do I not know this?
Yeah, this is mental. Who are the goalkeepers? Shaq Hislop
stayed with us.
I'm just trying to think. Maybe a player broke through and goal and always handled the ball. Who's our keepers? Kawagachi.
Yeah, which I've said, and Hislop, who
Yeah, who was the other keeper? Do we not have a?
I don't think. Did you have 3 in them days? I can't remember.
I can't remember Kawagachi being on the bench at all. Defenders, you had Festa, Hayden Fox, Dazoo, Primus, Matt Taylor. Who else? Not sure what else. Midfield, Diabate, Jason Crowe. Do you reckon?
Maybe.
Because he didn't play in the Premier League, did he? And
I'm starting to regret not saying Gianluca Festa now because he did. Are you sure?
Yeah.
He's in my fucking head.
Yeah, Jason Crowe. Surely he would have been in and around playing in Mullin's time, and same as Doyle.
Because Festa was a feisty player. That's all I'm thinking.
But I'm thinking Gianluca Festa. Who did he play for? Middlesbrough. I don't think he played for anyone else, did he? I can think of.
Oh, it could be because I'm pretty. Didn't he go back to Italy after us?
Yeah.
Go. Yeah, you said him. To be fair, you go for it.
But would he have played with Doyle and Mullins?
Oh yeah, that's the point. I forgot about them.
That's
too.
what I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking maybe like
would have done. It was only Middlesbrough, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Because have we said Jason Crowe before on this pod? See, Jason Crowe's in my head for some reason. But would he have got sent off quickly?
Yeah, right. Any player can get sent off, can't they?
Oh, go on, Jason Crowe. Yeah.
Oh, you're thinking Merce because they were at Arsenal together.
They were, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I realised I got that wrong. So Hayden Mullins was Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Michael Doyle was Leeds.
Of course. He played for Leeds as well, didn't he, Michael Doyle?
He was sent off after 33 seconds.
Wow.
Well done, Dad.
That was his debut in the League Cup for Arsenal against Birmingham City.
It was his debut for Arsenal?
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
After 33 seconds, straight red.
Right, go stamp your authority on the game. Like, show the manager what you're all about. It's like fucking the monk from Meme Machines. Like, spoosh.
Bosh, have it.
That's brilliant. That is fucking hell quality. Got there in the end.
Right. Any other business, boys?
Nah, I think we'll do this anyway, but I think we need a Leeds United atmosphere, I think, on Saturday. I mean, the fans have been at it pretty much all season. I don't think there's been many games at Fratton where it's been a bad atmosphere or anything like that. I think mainly because of the expectation. It's not on us to go in there, dominate and win and stuff like that. So, but I think if we can get a Leeds United atmosphere and Derby are not a bad set of fans, they'll sell at their end and they can be quite feisty. So I'm hoping it's going to be a great atmosphere on Saturday.
Yeah, I think that the fans know the importance of the game, and we will fully back the team as we always do. I don't really think there's any kind of qualms about that. We back the boys as we do, and as we have done every home game, despite us returning with 2 losses again away from home. We've done it before. We'll do it again, and we'll do it again after this season. Next time we win. Next time we lose 2 games away, in a row away, we just draw that ball into the Fratton net. We make it a cauldron. We make it hard because Derby are gonna. We've discussed it. Derby are gonna try and break up the play. They're probably gonna sit back. They're probably gonna have most 9, 10, 11 men behind the ball, and we've got to find a way to break through it. Is the way I think it will go, but maybe the Derby will come and surprise us. But we've got to make it as hard as possible for them, and that is with us as well as the helping the players is us making it hard for them. So when they're coming to have a throw, give them shit, give them abuse within reason while they're trying to take the throw in. Give Marcus Harness that we've seen you before. You're fucking useless. Give him all of that. Give them everything. Make their lives hard. And any chance there's for the ref. Obviously, the ref is inexperienced at championship level. Any chance there's you can the crowd can help sway him. Do it. Just get there and make it a horrible place for the away team. And that goes for Watford and Hull if we're still going and needing points by then as well. Just do what we do best.
Yep, I think you both hit the nail on the head, really. And I believe in the Pompey crowd. As Daz said, I don't think there's been any point this season I've kind of questioned the crowd at all. Let's just please don't throw away. As much as I don't want to draw, just don't lose. I think that's more important. Is the don't lose. The win is just because we're just desperate just to get that bit of breathing space. But just do not lose, whatever you do. Anything else? Anything you guys want to bring out? Anything happened this week?
Don't know. Don't think so.
I'm all right.
All good, yep.
Yeah, good.
Right, thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back next week. Hopefully after a win. And then we got two games to look forward to over the Easter period. All enjoy your Friday, and then hopefully we're all smiling after Saturday. See you all later. Till next time. Play up, Pompey.